Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Theresa Ewald, Assistant Superintendent for the Kettle Moraine School District. My colleague Jeff Walters, who is our high school campus principal. Let's see if this works. There we are. That's where we are, halfway between Milwaukee and Madison, and we are currently covered in snow because it's April. Just to provide a little context about who we are, we call this our brag slide. We are nationally recognized for our work in personalized learning, our work in competencies, but like any great organization, we have lots of awesome partners. Some of my colleagues right here are in the room, some of our great partners, as we do belong to the League of Innovative Schools. I always like to start out by defining what we call personalized learning because everybody defines it differently. So this is our Kettle Moraine definition. It is a pedagogy. It is not something that happens on Friday afternoons when kids are done with their real work. It is how we live. It's about increasing learner engagement and mastery of the content. We don't believe high test scores are the end of our story. In fact, they're not our story at all. Personalized learning is about location, delivery, and pace that meet the learner's needs. It has not to do with the adults in the system. The learner is the focus, not the content. Content is not king in Kettle Moraine. This, of course, has changed the role of the educator. They are coaches, they are facilitators, they walk alongside. And our 5 elements of personalized learning are choice, voice, path, place, and pace, meaning the learner is dictating quite a few of those. So we don't have prepared curriculums and timelines and whatnot because the learner is a piece of that. So what does that mean for staff? Well, the one thing we know for sure, and let's face it, we don't know a lot of things for sure, but one thing we know for sure is modeling is the best teacher. That is one of the most replicated studies out there. Well, we realized pretty quickly that we have to model for our teachers what we want our teachers to do for our kids. And so we created micro-credentials, and this is their personalized learning. This is how they have personalized PD. We do not do full-scale stand-in-front PD. And these are the elements of our personalized learning and micro-credentials. So, Jeff is going to talk a little bit about how our personalized PD and micro-credentialing has impacted his campus.
Yeah, so first of all, Theresa introduced myself as the high school campus principal. We'll get to a slide in a second. We are 4 schools on one campus. 3 of them are charter schools. If you heard Chris Sturgis facilitate a panel yesterday, I believe, she referred to them as micro schools as she's made a visit to our campus. But based upon the professional development aspect of it is we also heard from Phyllis from LEAP who talked about professional learning pathways, okay? You can't personalize for students unless you've personalized for adults. So in addition to the micro-credential piece, we also do that every day. Okay? Our staff models what that looks like. So one of the mantras that we use on campus is we do not have to leave campus to receive some really awesome professional development. Because about 8 years ago, we instituted one of those first micro schools, and that was CAM Perform. Okay? That's a charter school, 150 students on a campus. It used to be 1,500 traditional students in one high school, okay? Then we added 2 more charter schools, so now we're still about 1,500 students, but we're 3 personalized learning charters and 1, I would say, not so traditional high school, okay? So our staff has an opportunity every day to walk down the hallway to receive the best professional development that we believe they could get that day by watching what teaching and learning looks like in a personalized learning environment. What that has done is allowed us then to share staff between those 4 high schools in one building and then scale that across into what we call Kettle Moraine High School, our traditional comprehensive high school. So in addition to sharing the staff, now you also have staff taking that and scaling it into their traditional, not so traditional classrooms, and we've developed pathways for students. Okay, so again, if we give teachers choice, that leads to giving students choice. So now, the way I advertise it at Kettle Moraine High School is we used to have 350 students start biology on September 1st, and depending on how many snow days we have, they finished June 1st. They all started the same day, they all finished the same day. That's irresponsible for us to expect students to do that, because we know there's kids who need more time and kids who need less time. Now, we have up to 12 pathways where students at their own pace and within choice within those pathways receive credit on the day they prove mastery, not when we tell them they're supposed to prove mastery, okay?
One quick element is someone was talking about paying teachers what they're worth. That's my summary. We increase compensation in Kettle Moraine School District based on a teacher's application of new learning in their classroom. We do not have a salary schedule of a step and lane.
The other piece, back to, I think it's Phyllis from LEAP, talked about the professional pathways. We've taken our best staff members and created career pathways for them. So some of them have moved into lead educator roles, which are, we used to have department heads and all, that's way out the door years ago. And then also they've become directors of learning where they're doing the evaluation of people they've been assigned to. So they're administrators, but they're also teaching and modeling what I would say a model classroom looks like, and having their staff that they evaluate come visit that model classroom. So lead educators, directors of learning, in addition to the building administrators, and that kind of has been what led to the structure of me as a campus principal versus what some people might say is this is what the high school principal does.
As we're wrapping up here, we host lots of visitors, hundreds, almost up to 1,000 a year into our district. And there's lots of opportunities to learn. We are running some summer options for you to come and be part of those workshops on how to create micro-credentials, how to personalize and competency-based for your students, and that also allows you access to visit in our schools the following year. Thank you.
The last thing I just wanted to add quickly is I challenge every educator to stop thinking of a teacher in our classroom and 30 kids. I heard a lot of that in some of the panels I sat in the last 2 days, and think about the opportunities presented when you have more than one teacher and a larger group of students as far as how that professional collaboration can lead to more personalized learning for students. Thank you.